There's no cure for singleness because singleness is not a disease.
But it's like, I hear in the world, Anthony, you're 36, you're 37 years old. I'll be 37 July 1st. That's why I keep saying 37. Yeah. But, my pastors and my friends, my mentors, and even coworkers, man, you're young, you're successful, you know what you do in your life. What's wrong with you? You're single, so I'm like, the expectation is like, dang, I should be married by now. Man. And I'm like, wow. Is that a healthy expectation? Because sometimes, bro, I get kind of depressed. I get kind of lonely. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then it forces me to go out there and probably date people I shouldn't be dating, man. I'm just gonna be 100.
Right.
Hey, we're keeping it real.
I appreciate you keeping it real.
But talk to us, man. Talk to me. Talk to us, because I think there's other people out there too who are like, okay, yeah, he's right. I'm 30 years old as a woman, and there's a guy out there saying because I have a baby and I'm not married, you should be married by now, or this and that. So how do we know what's healthy for us, bro? Because we need some help.
Yeah, man. Listen, this is why I wrote this book. So Live Free. This book is divided into 4 different sections.
Yeah.
So to learn how to set expectations in every section. So there's personal, there's cultural, there are relational, and there's professional.
Okay.
In the relational section, one of the chapters is called "There's No Cure for Singleness because Singleness is not a disease."
Bro, I mean, I have it right here. That's question number 11, man. Why are some ways singles? What are some ways singles can set expectations early in a dating relationship? You already ahead of me, man. We're gonna go there, Devon.
I know we're gonna go there. I got you, and I'm gonna answer your question about whether it's an expectation you should have or not. But I'm using this to answer the bigger question, which is how do you know if you should have the expectation or how you shouldn't?
Yeah.
Here's this is so important. It's such a good conversation. I pray anyone watching or listening takes this in.
Yeah.
Because what you're describing is what happens in the culture. We feel the outside pressure to live a life not of our choosing. Because how do you know if it's an expectation you're supposed to have? If it's an expectation that's healthy, it brings you joy.
Okay.
If it's an expectation that's destructive, it brings you pain. When you go to the gym, you endure the stress of the gym, but it's a joyful pain. It's a joyful stress, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you are becoming better. When you go and do something that's not really in your heart to do, it's just pain for the sake of pain because it's not in your spirit.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about this idea of everybody saying you're 36, 37, okay, where is it written? Tell me where it's written that by this age, you're supposed to be married. Where is it written? What about just living, being free, experiencing life? And if marriage is supposed to happen, it will happen when you are free. When you freely give, you can freely receive, and that reception will then bring in whoever's supposed to be. Right now, when you're not living free, you can't date right. Because you're not free. You're dating from a motivation based upon somebody else's expectation, not your own. And this is why we have a divorce rate that is so high.
So good.
Because everybody feels the pressure to rush into something they have no idea what it is.
So good.
An expectation that if I'm not married, then there's something wrong with me.
And while I'm going through this singleness, the culture says being single, there's something wrong with you. It's almost like there's a disease. But you say in your book that there's no cure for singleness because singleness is not a disease. Break this down, man, for the people who are watching right now who are single. Is there something wrong with this, man? In your book, you clearly say no, but talk to us, man.
Yeah, no, listen. This is why I wrote this particular chapter in the book, that there's no cure for singleness because singleness is not a disease. First and foremost, again, we go back to what we were talking about earlier. One of the reasons why, singles end up feeling so badly has to do with a lot of the pressure and the expectations of everyone else. And so the key is, first and foremost, if you're single and you're listening to this, you gotta unplug. You gotta get out of the matrix.
Yeah.
The same people that are pressuring you and asking you why they're single are the same people that are secretly unhappy in their marriage, and you don't even know it. You would be shocked. You'd be shocked to know how many people you look at and you think, oh, that's great in their marriage. They're very unhappy. Yeah. So don't allow someone else's pressure to become your pressure. We are all on a journey that God has set before us, and all of us have different things that will happen on our journey as long as we stay on the path. And if you are single and you're listening to this, the only reason why you're feeling badly is because you're putting an expectation and you're judging yourself based on it. What if we just right now remove the expectation? Okay, I'm not married. And what? Am I alive? Yes. Am I here? Yes. Am I healthy? Yes. Am I in a house? Yes. If you're listening to this, it's because you have a device. Okay, great. I'm making resources. I can pay my bill. Okay, great. So there are so many things to enjoy and to be grateful for, right? And the more gratitude, the better attitude. And when our attitude is right, then we position ourselves to receive whatever God has for us. So if you are single right now, stop buying into the myth that there is something wrong with you, because there's not at all. And here's the other thing. What happens in my experience, and I'm the middle child of 3 boys, and I was married. My older brother got married first. My younger brother got married second, and then I got married last. And I had the same kind of experience, where people are like, oh, what's wrong with you? And all this kind of stuff. And here's what I realized was that if I had tried to rush and chase my brothers and got married in my 20s, I wouldn't be here right now.
Wow.
Because I would have been on the wrong path.
Right.
With the wrong person.
Right.
Just because I had felt the pressure.
Right.
When we consume our singleness with the question of why aren't I married, we disrupt the ability to appreciate the power of being single. Right? Singleness is filled with so much power. Right? I can set my own schedule. I can study. I can become better. I can work out. I can improve my health. I can improve my wholeness. I can heal. I can do all of these things so that whenever it's time for love, right, I will already be practicing the love that I want to receive. Here's one of the keys, man. We want someone to love us, but then we don't actually do the things that show that we love ourselves. And then when you're single, a lot of times, if you are unhappy and single, I promise you, if you're listening to this and you're watching this, I want you to hear what I'm getting ready to say. If you are unhappy and you're single, you will be unhappy and married. Because if you're not happy now, you will not be happy then. Here's why. Because happiness has to be an internal function that comes outside. Right? I find the things that contribute to my happiness, and I am the keeper of my happiness. In a relationship, too often, we outsource what's internal to someone external.
Wow.
And then we have the whole saying, I want you to make me happy, or this person makes me so happy, right? Be careful who you allow to make you feel any way, good or bad, because then you empower them to have power over you.
Yeah.
So what happens if the person that you love, that loves you so much, they get busy, or one day they don't do the things that you want them to do? Oh, wait a minute. What happened with your happiness?
Yeah.
This is why if you're single, what are the things that make you happy? Become happy now.
Yeah.
Because the happier you are, the more content you are, the more you love yourself now, the more you're going to be able to better identify who can contribute to your happiness when you actually are dating someone that you begin to get serious about. And then you can also evaluate what love looks like. We want people to love us, and we don't even know what it means to love ourselves. Don't make no sense. How somebody that you just met, you know you your whole life, and you don't know what makes you happy. You don't know how to love you, and then you want somebody to help you to come figure it out.
So good, man.
I'm just saying. So if you're single, I want you to have hope. I want you to have hope. That's why I wrote this book.
Yeah.
This is why I want you to live free.
Yeah.
Do not put yourself in a prison of someone else's expectations and making you think that because you're single, you're less than. No, you're not. You're whole. You're single because you're whole. Period. That's what single is. That's what it means. Whole. You're not a half, right? Yeah. When people talk about, when people get married, it's 2 halves. It ain't 2 halves. You better pray you don't marry a half a person, okay? You want a whole person, all right? You want 2 wholes coming together, amen? Man. So if you are single right now, I want you to be encouraged. This can be the best time of your life. Don't allow someone to make you feel badly. There's nothing to feel badly about. Marriage and love will come in its time. Just stay on the path. Keep being loving. Keep being happy. And keep trusting God.
Man.
I love me enough to go even if you say don't. because I have got to go on this journey called life. I've got to go figure this out. And guess what? I might be wrong. And guess what? That's okay. But what I can't do is miss out on my destiny because I don't want to disappoint you. And bro, this is the balance. Everybody is trying to not disappoint someone. And you know who gets disappointed the most? You.
Yeah.
When you are trying to please everybody and you yourself are not following the destiny in your heart and the destiny God has revealed to you, the person that you disappoint is yourself. Opposite direction he created me to go.
Yeah.
Because the only person that can get me where I'm supposed to be is him.
Yeah.
And the only way I get there is by listening.
Yeah.
And by going here instead of this.
Yeah.
So that's how I did it, man. I just had to tune everybody out. I had to go and see and experience for myself. And there's something else I want to say, which is, I think that it's crazy, man. Look, we were raised in communities of faith, right? And we're part of the community of faith, especially a Christian community of faith. And it's like, this is the crazy thing about our faith. Jesus came to set us free. But then the way we're socialized, we get imprisoned.
Yeah.
The way we're socialized from a faith perspective is you can't do this and you can't do that. And you better be careful here and you better be careful there. And we learn to perform for everybody.
Yeah.
And we're never free. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. So if he freed us from sin, how is it that we allow ourselves to live in a prison of somebody else's thoughts and opinions about what we should and shouldn't do?
Yeah.
And this is why I believe our community is one of the most judgmental communities on the planet, because people are not free. And if I'm free, guess what? I want you to be free.
Yeah.
But if I'm not free, then no, you can't be free either. And if I was judged and I can't wear a certain thing and say a certain thing, then you can't either. So this is so important. I got to the point where I was like, listen, y'all gonna just talk about me. I mean, even to this day, I got people on YouTube that don't know me talking bad about me. And it's okay. I don't even get mad at it. I just say, you know what? It comes with the territory. And I'd rather have the freedom to do what God has called me to do, even with the ridicule that sometimes comes with it, than to live a ridicule-free life, but not a free life. I need to communicate it to someone. I communicated. So when you talk about a goal and you talk about an expectation, if your expectation is unset, you'll create a fake goal. Ooh. If your expectation is set, you'll create a real goal.
Yes.
How do you know if it's real or fake? Here's one of the things, and I could go on. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on this, but I'll give you a quick tip. Too often, our expectation is unrealistic because we're trying to control something that's not in our control, which is called time. We create a fake goal when we say, this needs to happen by this age, by this date. And then when it doesn't, we say, I'm a failure, it's not gonna work, what's wrong with me, so on and so forth. That's a fake goal. Why? Because we don't control the when. Yeah. God does.
Yeah.
When things happen in our career, in our life, when we get the promotion, when we go to the next level, that's all God's business.
Yeah.
When we talk about a real goal is, and a real expectation is, I show up every day. I have the right attitude. I'm disciplined, right? I'm studying to show myself approved. I'm being positive. I am being optimistic. I'm staying in faith. Those are things that I can expect. Why? Because it's in my control. When certain things manifest, that is completely up to the time that God put in place before the foundation of the earth. When you look at a seed, you put a seed in a ground, and so I love doing tea, right? So I use lemon. So whenever I squeeze lemon in my teacup, the seeds come out. Here's how we operate. Imagine us, we're one of those seeds. Oh man, I wish I was a lemon tree. Oh man, I wish I was a lemon tree. Why aren't I a lemon tree? You are. The only thing is you have to be put in the right environment and give it time. So can that lemon seed expect that it is a tree? Of course. But can it expect that it's going to become a tree tomorrow? No.
Yeah.
So to make the goal that I'm going to become a tree tomorrow is a fake goal.
Facts.
To make the goal that eventually I will become everything I'm destined to be is a real goal. And I can expect that over time, everything that I am will ultimately manifest as long as I put myself in the right environment. As long as I stay positive, as long as I stay prayed up, as long as I stay faithful, as long as I stay, happy, content, all of the things that I am will manifest. Too often we're worried about what we already are instead of allowing the process of living free to take us on a journey of becoming.
Man,